think EB in his press conference maybe last week said that, we have 14, 15 guys that deserve to be on this 9-man roster for opening day or starting lineup or something like that. And while we lost a lot from last year, we gained a lot of new pieces that there's a lot to be excited about. But the common factor coming back is Coach Bakich. His ability to put together a team, get the pieces he needs, and bring a team together is something that I've honestly never seen before. And between him doing what he does and being one of zero is what we call him, because there's no one else like him. There's a lot to be excited about.
There's one newcomer to keep an eye on.
One newcomer to keep an eye on. I would say Don Listy. He transferred from Indiana State last year, and his approach in the box is to be the toughest out he could possibly be. And, his power generation over his college career hasn't been, something that lights up your eyes when you see it on paper. But his ability to have quality at bats and put the ball in play and just be a really tough out is something that's going to, I think, help us go really far this year.
What do you think you guys learned from the run to being so close to the College World Series that you can take into this year and hopefully make it to Omaha this year?
Yeah, the guys who are coming back from last year, they know the feeling of what it feels like to be beat, especially at our home fields. A couple wins away from going to Omaha. I think the biggest thing is the fact that, we know what it takes to get to where we were last year. And when you consider the past few years, making a regional 2 years ago and then hosting a super regional last year, I feel like, this program is trending on the right track. And like I said, the guys who were there last year know what it feels like. To sit in that outfield and watch the other team celebrate. And they're going to Omaha. So I think that's something that even the new guys, they saw, what it looked like, and we've kind of talked about what it felt like, and that's something that obviously we never want to feel again. And there's one team that's going to be happy at the end of the year, and every day we come out here, we have that in mind, and that's what we're striving to, not only go to Omaha, but to win the whole thing.
You mentioned EB's personality is 1 of 0. Now, many college coaches were ripping their shirt off at the pitcher's mound to weigh in with the bananas, and the partnership was absolutely ridiculous and everything. How do you think his personality affects the team, inspires the team, and brings you guys together?
It's unbelievable. Obviously the stuff that gets posted on social media, people see that, know the coach is doing that. But I think for me and most of the guys, it's the day-to-day talks he gives us and the day-to-day energy he gives us and the consistency that he brings to the field every day. I think his players seeing that, it motivates them to, never take a day off, never just go through the motions, because, his intensity as a coach is real. And I think the most impressive thing to me personally is his ability to speak in front of his players and just instantly gain the respect of his guys. And, we want to win not just for us, but more importantly just for him.
How was he encouraging to you personally when you were going through that injury?
Yeah, so he was the phone call that I received a couple days after that Notre Dame series that kind of broke the news to me. And looking back on it, I don't think there's anyone I'd rather have told me than him, just because of the coach he is and the person he is and his ability to develop relationships with his players. He was there because I was still coming to the field every day after I had my surgery, and he cares more about his players as people more so than as athletes.
The way last season ended for you, but the team as well, what does it fuel for you guys going into the season?
Yeah, like I said, I think the guys who were there last year, they know what it felt like to sit on our home fields and watch another team celebrate, clinching their Omaha spot. And even the guys who weren't here, they have seen the pictures, a bunch of guys sitting out on the outfield and just kind of reflecting. Obviously, It's probably one of the worst feelings I've ever experienced, even though I wasn't personally playing. But seeing the guys and kind of just sitting there and knowing how hard we've worked over the course of the entire year, it's something that we are striving to never feel again. And like EB says all the time, there's only one team that is truly happy at the end of the year, and this year, that's gonna be us.
What do you guys think about the absolutely ridiculous partnership?
It's pretty sweet. It's very unique. Obviously, EB is trying to, do things that a college team has never done before. So this partnership's really cool. The sliding mitts and all the custom gloves and everything. It's super unique and something we're really excited about, especially with that guy Jazz Chisholm over there.
Did you get to have any input in what your custom design looks like? Or?
Yeah, everyone customized their own gloves. So the absolutely ridiculous people came in earlier in the fall and they kind of told us what their vision was. We shot a couple cool videos, but yeah, we were all able to customize our own gloves and get as unique and creative as possible.
And what was the inspiration for yours?
Well, mine will be shown when I'm out in the field, but there's an Italian flag on it. I like the color scheme of mine, kind of a tan blonde, and the initials of my grandparents.
Cool.
Coach Backus was talking about how this partnership and others are kind of trying to bring the joy back to baseball at this level. How do you see that not only with the partnerships but on a day-to-day basis on this team?
Yeah, something that I've heard EB says is, baseball can be boring, especially for, the people that come out and, might know the game, but, there is a lot of downtime in baseball. So one of his visions that I found pretty cool is implementing some part of a banana ball style into our conference games and, real games. And so that might be something as simple as, the guys who aren't playing at that time running up into the stadium and, interacting with fans. And I think that vision's really cool, and I don't know if a lot of coaches kind of have the courage to, go forth with that, but I mean, he doesn't care. He does whatever he sees, and he sees things that a lot of people don't see, and some people might think it's, kind of abstract, but, when it happens and it kind of goes viral, then gains some more traction here.
I would say it's game ready.
And you might have answered this before I walked over, but with that injury, what did you learn about yourself in that and having the time to watch and, kind of sit back? What had been your thoughts going into the season after that?
Yeah. I kind of credit my coming back to Coach Backus. There was a time last year after my injury where, I knew I had one more year left, but I wasn't really too intrigued in taking it because this wasn't my first surgery or injury that I had to endure. But like I said before, I think just being surrounded by my teammates every day and having that support system to, be vulnerable around and, just kind of talk about my feelings with, I think that was pretty big for me. And, I think everything happens for a reason, whether you see it in that moment or not. And, it could have been a huge blessing in disguise. So I'm just happy to be back here. This my 6th and final year of college baseball. And, yeah, a lot to be excited about for the season. So.
Thank you.
What's the identity of this team going to be? I mean, you got superstar power at the top. There's a lot of talent. What do you feel like is going to be, the signature of this team?
I'd say the identity of this team is probably just going to be, if I had to classify it in one word, gritty. We lost a lot from last year from Blake Wright, Rocco Reed, Tristan Smith, a lot of key pieces. Obviously gained a lot in the transfer portal. Also new freshmen coming in that are really exciting. But I think the common factor here is Coach Backus and his ability to transform 47 guys who might not be as close over the course of a few months and just transform them into a brotherhood.
What do you take away from last year? You take away all the success, or do you still is some of that hurt still fresh from how it ended?
Yeah,
being so close.
That hurt's still fresh. I think what we as returners take away is we don't want to feel what we felt at the end of that Super Regional again. Obviously, the success we had last year is, and you look at the past couple of years, is trending in the right direction. And while we were a couple wins away from Omaha last year, I think there's a lot to take from that between the success and also the ability to never give up in a game. You look back at our Florida State series where 2 games in a row we were down by 8-9 runs in the latter innings. And our ability to not panic in that moment. And when EB gets us together in here, it just keeps things free, and it doesn't make anyone clench up or tighten up and try to do something that they're not capable of. I think just the resilience of this team is going to be even more so than last year.